Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today's read will be a collective read. So as per usual, I will be starting off with an oracle and we can clarify the existing energies with tarot. Okay guys, so we have two cards here. The first card being Embrace Soul Transformation. And it reads, transformation isn't easy, but it's necessary. Embrace the changes that lead you to your highest self. Okay. And then we have untangle emotional dependency. When love feels like survival, it's not love, it's fear. You're safe without the attachment. Okay. For some reason, guys, this card is giving me the energy of the Lover's card in tarot. Like off the bat here, I feel like this could be a very intense connection. This could be someone who feels very deeply towards you, but there are certain things or certain aspects of this, connection that maybe feel unhealthy, or there's some sort of, emotional dependency or unhealthy attachments here. Okay. And so this is someone who does feel connected to you, but there's something here that is not working, or they may feel like they are connecting with you for the wrong reasons, or something where there's an issue, and instead of finding a solution, you guys may feel very almost like tangled in a situation or an issue, but having a hard time finding a solution is how I'm sensing this person's energy. And then the first card speaks about, embrace soul transformation. Transformation isn't easy, but it's necessary. It seems to me that someone feels like they need to let go to see things from a different perspective. They're understanding what's not working in the connection, although they're having a hard time finding a solution. And there's some sort of unhealthy attachment here, or there's some form of codependency issues that are coming to the surface. Okay, let's see what's going on. Someone here could feel like when there's something that goes wrong in this connection, they feel completely consumed by it, and it could, change their mood or change the trajectory of their day, where they're really wanting to detach from the connection for that reason. Okay. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Two of Swords. Okay. Someone definitely has a guilty conscience here. Like they are thinking about you, but they could be thinking about some form of dishonesty or something that they did not bring to the forefront. And with the Two of Swords, they also feel like it caused a lot of confusion in this connection. You have someone here who is thinking of you, thinking of this connection, but they're not really sure where it's headed. They're not really sure what the future holds, because the Two of Swords is when you're having a difficult time seeing the bigger picture of a situation. But I will say there's some, like, it's either a guilty conscience or something that they want to tell you, or they wish they told you this very thing sooner. And they're, really up in their head about you this week, because the Swords energy is more of a mental energy. So what you're thinking about or what's impacting you on a mental level. Okay, I'm going to start off by seeing how you are being viewed this week. Okay. 10 of Pentacles. Someone is viewing you as very stable. There could be something that you're working towards in terms of like a financial goal, or there's some sort of success that you're, you've recently walked into as well. I feel like they're viewing you as very stable. You know what you want, but this could also indicate that, this is someone that you were in a higher level of commitment with, maybe even marriage for some of you. But I do feel like they're viewing you as, having a lot of history with you, but there's something here that, there's an issue here where they feel like it's never really an issue that you guys, come to a solution about. Instead, you guys end up at square one. Even if it feels like this issue is being resolved, this person feels like it's very repetitive. For example, if it's inconsistency, that could be an issue, right? If it's dishonesty, because we did see the Seven of Swords, that could be the issue there. So we have the Chariot, followed by the Three of Wands in the challenge position. Someone who's trying to move forward, but they're still feeling very backtrack, or they're constantly backtracking because they're still feeling very strongly towards you. They may feel like the right thing to do is to move forward in the current moment, to see things from a different perspective, but it doesn't change the fact that it's very difficult for them to do. Hence why those two cards are coming up in the challenge position. I'm also strongly getting, because a Chariot card, it does speak about forward movement or progress, but it's usually progress after some form of acceptance. So there's something here that this person is failing to accept. We did see the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords could touch on being in a state of denial, right? Picking and choosing what you want to see, or there's something in particular that's in front of this person, but they're refusing to pay attention to it. They're suppressing it. And this person, they want to work something out with you, or they feel, that there is a future here, or they could do something differently, but it's because they're failing to accept the reality of the situation. There could be certain things that this person feels guilty about, but they're not really sitting down with their feelings and thinking about what to do next. Instead, it's like, I want to work something out with you, but there are certain things I don't want to speak about, or there are certain things that I want to sweep under the rug. How are you viewing them? Ace of Wands. I feel like you view this connection as very fiery, or there's a lot of passion here, but you may be ready for a change or a new start here. Some of you could quite literally be investing in something new, where, you guys could be on, different timelines. Your energies are fluid. Or for others of you, you're just manifesting something new for yourself, feeling very ready for a change, feeling like you want to feel like yourself again, feel excited about love again. Right? Because I do see that this is a connection that not only took a very heavy emotional toll on you, it could have actually changed your outlook on, love and relationships. And so I think for many of you, you're just wanting a change. You're tired of feeling the same way, or you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, because it's a very emotionally overwhelmed or draining energy that I'm sensing here. Okay, we have the Three of Cups in your feelings, and the Two of Pentacles. You're definitely viewing this individual as indecisive, maybe someone that was invested in the situation with you, but you also feel like they were going back and forth between maybe a situation with you and another situation at hand. It doesn't necessarily mean with the Three of Cups that the interference has to be another lover, but it could be someone where their career was in the way, or somehow their finances were in the way if they didn't feel stable enough. It could even be pertaining to someone's living situation, but you definitely feel like there was an interference here, and you're viewing this person as juggling or not making a firm decision, which resulted in you having cold feet throughout the course of this bond. Okay. So we have the Ace of Swords and the Moon card. You're receiving some sort of clarity, or there's a breakthrough moment happening for you this week. For many of you, it could be something that just happens internally, whether it's like a gut feeling, whether it's something that you're realizing, having a full circle moment. I don't really feel like it's direct communication from this person, because with the Moon card, yes, that's associated with your intuition, but it's also more of suppressed emotions. It touches on very deep and intense emotions, but it also touches on very suppressed emotions, or something that feels a bit hidden. So for many of you, either a question is being answered when it comes to where this person stands or how they feel towards you, or something that they kept from you is coming to light for you. So it could be a bit of a bittersweet feeling where, it could be hurtful, but then, on the bright side, you're happy that you've received some sort of clarity, so you're no longer confused here. I also feel like for many of you, with the Moon card and the Ace of Swords, that could quite literally be your intuition being confirmed, something that you've had a gut feeling about when it comes to this connection or this person, and it's somehow being confirmed for you. But I don't think it's directly through them. I think it's something that you're figuring out on your own, or something that's just like you're receiving a sign on it. Okay. So we have the Two of Wands clarifying the Chariot, and we have the Eight of Cups. Clarifying the Three of Wands. Okay. It seems to me that this person feels challenged by the fact that they walked away from something or a situation that could have really worked out in a very stable way. And the Eight of Cups is usually, when you try time and time again and you get to the point where something begins to feel very repetitive and you feel like you have to emotionally detach, whether it's to see things from a different perspective or you feel like, even though I feel this connection is intense, there's something that's very important to me or a very important emotional component that is missing. And you feel like, without that, you're unable to move forward. So this person could feel like there was a lack of understanding between the both of you. They could also feel like there is something here that they're failing to take accountability for. And that's always going to create, a barrier between the both of you. But I will say they're still paying attention to you from afar. And when you have the Eight of Cups and the Two of Wands in the challenge position, yes, they're feeling challenged by what's not changing in this connection. Yes, there's something that they're having a hard time admitting to. But for the Eight of Cups to come up in the challenge position, it also touches on how difficult it is for this person to detach or walk away here. Even if you're not speaking to this person in the current moment, they can't stop thinking about you. There's something here that's causing them to backtrack. And for many of you, it's like a barrier or something that they feel like they want to get off their chest, but they don't feel ready to speak about it. And it seems to me that it's something that they would have to take accountability for. Because when they're thinking about it, it's still impacting them on an emotional and mental level. They're not proud of it. But I think that that's why there's a lot of suppression, or I don't want to think about that. Or like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you have someone here who's in a state of denial. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups in their feelings and the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who still has a lot of love for you. They are viewing you as someone who's very cautious with where you're putting your energy. It's like maybe in the past you were, overextending yourself, or you would always try to make something work between the both of you. But in the current moment, they're viewing you as you're really being careful with what you're sharing with them. And even if you guys are not speaking to this person and it's a no contact situation, it could even be that you're being cautious with what you're publicizing in the current moment. I will say it's someone who's having a hard time figuring you out. And the Two of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles is someone who's still viewing you as their version of an ideal partner. We even have the Ten of Pentacles there. So they feel like they've planted a seed with you, or you guys have birthed something together. Whether it's you guys have children together, or for others of you, it's just like history and something else that you guys may have created together, even just a connection. And it's a strong energy of I could have had it all, or I could have had something that was very stable, and I'm still very much in love with this person, but there are certain things that I'm not proud of. We have the Hermit and the Eight of Swords. They're keeping to themselves, but they're very stuck on you. Eight of Swords is also some form of, it could be some form of mental restrictions, right? Where this person wants to reach out, for example, but they're telling themselves that it's not going to work, or they're feeding into their pessimistic thoughts here. A situation could seem a lot more complex in their mind than the reality of it. Like in their mind, they could feel like my hands are tied. The ball is not in my court. I don't have control over this. But the reality of the situation is they could have control over it, but they could be in a state of denial. Or there's something here where they're not comfortable with, speaking about it. The Hermit card does speak about someone who's in a period of solitude, but it also touches on wisdom. So there's some sort of a spiritual lesson that this person is learning when it comes to this connection. They could even feel like this connection was like a catalyst for their growth. And this is a week where they're thinking about you quite a bit here. Even with the Eight of Swords, that's usually revisiting something, overthinking, overanalyzing, even to the point where you're talking yourself out of taking action because there's more thinking going on. Again, the swords are more of a mental energy. Okay, so we have the Sun card followed by the Strength card, Leo energy, in the potential outcome. There's something that is being presented to this person that they're having a hard time accepting. For many of you, it's what they feel like is they've missed out on. So it could be like a missed opportunity, or an energy of this is what I could have had, or this is what I could have had if I did said thing during a specific time. So they are receiving the clarity, but with the Strength card, I still feel like they're suppressing their emotions. Because the Strength card also speaks about very intense emotions or something that you feel very strongly about, but you're not being open about it. So, needless to say, this could be someone who struggles with emotional intimacy, or when it comes to emotional expression, that is something that they shy away from or they struggle with. So, we have the Seven of Pentacles clarifying the Sun card, and we have the Seven of Wands clarifying the Strength card. They're definitely, very analytical of you. I think they're going to continue watching you from afar or thinking about you and the potential outcome here. But with the Seven of Wands, I'm getting a very defensive energy, guys. So this is a general read. You're going to know your situation better than I will, but I'm strongly getting someone who is having trouble admitting to what they feel guilty about. It's someone who is thinking about it, they're bothered by it, but they're not in the space of, I'm ready to admit to it or I'm ready to speak about it. They're still paying attention to you, don't get me wrong, but Seven of Wands is a very defensive energy. It's very guarded. Okay, now the Seven of Wands, guys, could also be read as standing your ground, right? So there could be something here that this person disagrees with, and they're like, you know what, I do want to make peace, but I think that that's just something that we're not going to be able to, agree on. So they feel like speaking up may, result in another disagreement here. The Devil. Yeah. And I was sensing with the second card, I did say I was getting the energy of the Lovers, but that card speaks about, like unhealthy attachments, and the Devil could definitely be, or it does touch on the same, similar energy, where this person is understanding that even if they were to reconnect with you, until, what was hidden resurfaces, it's going to feel unhealthy. It's going to feel like there's some sort of a block that the both of you are not speaking about, or something that's impacting them emotionally, but they're not opening up about it. This person definitely has some sort of an attachment to you, but they are starting to understand that it doesn't feel healthy. There could also be some sort of poor coping mechanisms that this person is taking part in, that again, that they're not proud of, but I see it as a very hidden energy, something that they don't want you to know, something that they don't want to show you. Okay, so let's see if there's anything that they want to communicate here. I want to feel that way again. I feel like this person's definitely craving your presence. Yeah, wanting to be in your company. And I feel like the way you make this person feel is very different from what they're used to. We still have the Two of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles in their feelings, which means this is someone who is still in love with you, whether they want to admit that or not. Okay, I still feel the pain. So this, again, but I feel like it's a hidden energy. It's something that they're not revealing to you. I look for you everywhere. So this could be someone who's hoping that they bump into you, someone who's really missing you. Anything else? And then it says, finding out the truth crushed me. Okay. So this could be either finding out that you've moved forward, finding out that you no longer want to, connect with them. But for others of you, it could also be an energy of feeling very exposed, right? Feeling like they weren't ready for something to come out or for you to figure something out about them. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.